All right, everybody. Scott Pierce here at Listings to Leads. Welcome to the call today, and hopefully you are having an awesome Friday. Go ahead and let me know where you're coming in from, and let us get it going. I'm going to be talking about, if you've been on one of our Just Sold calls ever before, this is going to be very different. And we're going to be taking, who here knows of the golden letter? And oh, shoot, give me a second here. My son just sent me a message. He is getting sick. So give me 1 second. I apologize. I'm going to say call mom, just starting a webinar. And give me 1 second. I'm going to let his mom know that he's going to get a hold of him, and I'll be right back. Otherwise, he's getting sick and he's thinking I'm going to have to get a hold of him. So hey, right. Oh, Ian's going to get a hold of you. He needs to go to urgent care. This skin is bothering him. Don't let me say it. All right. Sorry about that. Got to make sure to take care of the kids. Otherwise, what kind of parent am I? Right? I love you all. We want to make sure that we have an awesome call today, but at the same time, I can't leave my kid hanging. He's a junior in school. And before he went to school today, he was like, Dad, I think I'm getting a rash. And I said, well, it doesn't look too bad. Go to school. If it gets worse, let us know. And of course, he lets me know as soon as I sit down for a call. Otherwise, I would go help him and take care of him and take him over to urgent care. But his mom was actually going to the store, so it's perfect. She can do that a little bit later, or I'll take care of that a little bit later for her. Anyways, all right, let's get at it. Now that we got the family life taken care of. So you'll know the golden letter, I assume, correct? And before I get into that, let me show you what I mean. So let me click. I'm going to show you a few examples of what I'm talking about so we can get a feel for what I'm going to be talking about today. And Miss Gwen Dorsey, one of our beautiful clients. So this is an ad. 1015 Riley Street just sold. My 100 plus point home marketing plan for selling homes has gotten over 8,500 views for this home. In addition, I have 24 buyers actively looking for a home in the area. Some have been looking for months. The problem is there's only one home, but thousands of potential buyers, including my 24 active buyers. If you have a 3 to 4 bedroom home between 2,500 and 4,000 square feet, would you consider selling your home to one of my buyers? If so, what is your magic number to sell? Click learn more for more information about this home and my buyers. So check this out. This is so beautiful. They're going to click the ad, right, like normal. And what does that first question say right there? Would you sell in the next 1 to 3 months if you got the right price? So that is referring to the fact, what they just read, all right, that I've got buyers. I just got a home sold. There's only one home. I've got more buyers. Boom. Maybe if it was the right price. Next question. See how AI can help you sell faster for a top dollar? Cool. A lot of people are saying yes to that. And then thirdly, see how my 100 plus point home marketing plan works for your home. Had one client tell me she was running an ad with this question right here. And in the first day, she had 2 people say yes to yes, and please customize for my home. And so in her follow-up, get the address of the home so that when you're following up with the lead, right, reference the fact that they requested this, that you're going to prepare it for them. What is the address of their home? Then you can add it to your listings to leads account and create a marketing plan featuring their home on every single page. So these 3 questions are now possible to add to your Facebook lead form, so that in addition to the standard name, email, and phone number, we are getting more great information. All right. So this is where you're the listing agent, but you can do this where you're the selling agent. So you can market just sold listings where it was your buyer that bought the property. Does that make sense? So a lot of you have buyers. You go into contract, they buy the home. You are now the selling agent. And this is a version for just sold selling agent. And let's go ahead and take a look at it. Very, very similar. And so here we go. 694 Douglas Boulevard in Folsom, just sold. It was my buyer who wrote the accepted offer. The problem is I have 16 more pre-approved buyers interested in buying a home in Folsom, some of whom have been looking for months. If you have a 3 to 4 bedroom home between 2,500 and 4,000 square feet, would you consider selling your home to one of my buyers? If so, what is your magic number to sell? Click learn more below. All right. Again, they click the image, they click learn more, whichever, it doesn't really matter. And essentially the same questions. I changed one of them. Get your home's value and instant cash offer options. That's not bad. All right. I might not mind that one. And these are all customizable. We get over like almost 25 different questions you can select from. And again, would you sell in the next 1 to 3 months? Maybe. And see how my 100 plus point home marketing plan. Yes, I would be curious to see that. Continue. And then again, name, email, and phone number. Now, it's not just for ads. We can do this for a social media post as well. So this is just a standard free post. And John, great question. Hold that question until we get to that part, which I will be covering in about 10 minutes. I'm actually going to walk through doing that ad. Now I'll go through the budget. I'll go through location. I'll go through adding those questions to it. It'll take me a couple of minutes to show you, but once you actually go to do it, it'll take you about a minute, right? You don't go to the Facebook Ads Manager. You're going to do that all within Listings to Leads. So yeah, I'll show the whole flow, including budget at that point. All right, so this is a free post. So this could be Instagram. This could be my Google page, LinkedIn, X, Facebook, obviously. And the same essence of this could be a TikTok, an Instagram reel or story, and a YouTube short. So we got here, 1015 Riley Street, just sold, my 100 plus point home marketing plan for selling homes. So it's all the same, except for just at the very end, it is DM me or message me at, and I got the phone number, if you already know your magic number, or if you'd like an equity analysis to help you determine it. All right, so the call to action there is to just DM me. Then they could comment below, whatever. We're also going to do this in an email to our database. All right, so this is an email for the listing agent, and I'll show you where this is in your account. 1015 Riley Street in Folsom, just sold. Again, it's all the same, except for, again, because it's an email, an ad, a post, an email, the way they respond back is going to be just a little bit different. Hopefully that makes sense. So for the email, the call to action is reply back or text me if you already know your number, or if you'd like an equity analysis to help you determine it. And then an email for the selling agent, again, where your buyer wrote the offer. All right, we got the subject line of the email, 1015 Riley Street, just sold, a question about your home. And then the email, 1015 Riley Street, just sold. It was my buyer who wrote the accepted offer. So again, all of that top part will be the same. And then we get towards the bottom here. And then again, this is where it's going to just change up a little bit. Reply back or text me if you already know your number, or If you'd like an equity analysis to help you determine it, you can reach me directly at, and that will be your phone number. Thank you for your time. Does everybody kind of get the whole idea here? Now, we've got a different default for all of this, and I'm going to show you. If you go to, and I put the link into the chat, listingstoleads.com // just sold. Again, listingstoleads.com / just sold. And here walks through all of the marketing that you can do with Listings to Leads to market that just sold listing to get more listings. You can also, you'll probably end up getting some buyers as well, but we're predominantly trying to get listings. Under pro tip, it says listing agent and selling agent. And there are single property website links here. And I want you to check this out. At my single property website, this is kind of where I start the whole thing. Notice that same language is right in here. 1015 Riley Street just sold. Again, this is where I'm the listing agent. My 100+ point home marketing plan for selling homes has gotten over 8,589 views for this home. In addition, I have 24 buyers actively looking for a home in the area. Some have been looking for months. The problem is there's only one home, but thousands of potential buyers, including my 24 active buyers. If you have a 34-bedroom home between 2,500 and 4,000 square feet, would you consider selling your home to one of my buyers? If so, what's your magic number to sell? Send an email to scott@listingstoleads.com or message me at phone number if you already know your number, or if you'd like an equity analysis to help you determine it. You can get an updated home value estimate now for free. Perfect timing. They can put their address right here and get it. And or click the link here. And so you all have access to these two, to this. And let me turn that off, turn that off. Let's go back to that main page. So again, we're at listingstoleads.com / just sold. Here I am the selling agent. So here's the example. If I click on it and I scroll down, and this is where I was the selling agent, where my buyer bought the property. So I got 694 Douglas Boulevard in Folsom just sold. It was my buyer who wrote the accepted offer, and it keeps going down. And then the ending is email me at scott@listingstoleads.com or text me if you already know your number, or if you'd like an equity analysis to help you determine it. You can get an updated home value estimate now for free at, and again, I got that link right there going there. So let me know if all of this makes sense. Does all of this make sense? And do you get the idea here that we're going to use? I mean, the golden letter has been around forever. The problem is doing a golden letter, which you can still do. We got a nearby homeowner letter, which is amazing. But we're going to take that same language around the golden letter, and we're going to use it everywhere. We're going to use that everywhere. Does the just sold ad mainly target homeowners? Yes, exactly right. It's interesting. If you do a just listed ad on Facebook and a just sold ad, and you got your targeting the same, right? City, 15 miles, and you don't change anything, invariably your just listed leads will come in at about $4 on average. So they'll range between $2 to $8. That's the general range. The average is $4 a lead. But if you do it just sold, the average is about $10 a lead. And you're not changing anything else. Nothing, right? I'm still targeting to Folsom. I'm not doing any custom audience. I'm not doing, because you can't do homeowners now on Facebook, right? But if all of my targeting is the exact same, the only thing difference is one is, 694 Douglas Boulevard is just listed for sale. And then you got 694 Douglas Boulevard just sold. The just solds will always be about $10, and the just listed will always be about $4. because Facebook knows, I think they know when they see the just sold or the pending, to show these more to homeowners versus to the general population at large. Yeah, I know it's kind of crazy. I'm not sure why you're saying amazing. So, and I apologize. Is it Sophia? Says amazing. Yeah, I'm not sure. The cost per lead's amazing, and the way Facebook does it is kind of amazing. I think. Yeah, I think it's all amazing. And I'll tell you what else is amazing. This marketing plan is amazing. So let's do this. I'm going to, because y'all have access to these links, and we're going to roll through this where I'm the listing agent. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cheat. And I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to click that link that you have access to. If you're watching the recording, go to listings2leads.com/just sold. You can do the same thing for pending. It would be /pending. And I'm just going to copy all of this. And then I'm just going to swap out. It's kind of like cheating. And I'm just going to swap out. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to listings2leads.com, log in. If any of you can do this with me right now that are on this call, please do. Log into your account. There's no reason why we can't do this together. And when you log in, real quickly before we get going, we just dropped 2 emails for your database based on the Fed rate cuts. There's a video. If you click this, there's a full video that walks you. And I'm going to click through, and let me just show you. I'm just going to show you where it is, and that's all, because we got a lot to cover today. But when you scroll down to database email blast, Fed rate cuts, Fed just cut rates. When you mouse over the subject line, you're going to see click to send to sellers, and then click to send to buyers. Now, these two right below it, we're going to come back to a little bit later. These are the golden letter emails for your database. So we're going to come back to those a little bit later, but just so you have a little bit of a sneak peek, right below those 2 database emails are the golden letter emails for your database for a pending listing. And they're to convert it to a just sold, you just change is pending and expected to close soon to just sold. And you could say just sold above asking, just sold in 23 days, or just leave it as just sold. All right. So we'll come back to that a little bit later. But let's go to listings. And so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change my property description, because to Sophia, and again, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, to her point, does the just sold ad mainly target homeowners? Most of the marketing is going to target homeowners. And so because of that, the first thing I'm going to do when a listing goes pending and when it goes just sold, I change the property description. I don't need it. I don't need a property description. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change it to the golden letter verbiage. All right. As appropriate, not for a letter, but for a property website. And I think you'll see what I mean here in a second. And okay, I'm going to click on. Now, if your listing was pending, you can just click on pending and change it to the proper status. So always please make sure all the listings in your account should be the proper status, because every time I change the status to the new one or the updated one, it unlocks all of these tools. So you get a whole new set of marketing tools every time you change the status from just listed to active, active to open house to pending, pending to just sold. So don't sit there and let those active listings rot away and not take advantage of that pending marketing. Don't take advantage of that just sold marketing, because there's a lot of free things that you can do in addition to the paid stuff. So I've already got my listing at the right status, just sold listing agent. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click edit. So right below the address, it says edit. I'm going to click edit, and I'm going to scroll down to what is ostensibly the property description. And I'm just going to delete what's there. And I'm going to paste in what I copied from listings to leads. And the one thing I'm going to do before I do anything else, so please pay attention, there is a clear formatting icon, right? If I mouse over it, you can see it says remove format. You want to make sure that you do that to get rid of all that invisible HTML that will just completely screw up everything. All right, so now we're here. So you're going to change 1015 Riley Street to your property address. You're going to change the number 8,589 to what is appropriate for you. And if you're not sure, you can just say thousands. Every ad. So for example, let's say you did a Facebook ad, it just listed, you did an open house ad, you did maybe another ad while it was active. Those, just say you did 3 ads for $35 each, you probably have 9,000 views from that alone. All right. There's a traffic report in listings to leads at the bottom of the market listing section. There's a traffic report there. I would also look on Zillow. I would look on, because you got it to Zillow, right? You did that through the MLS. That's putting it on Zillow as part of your marketing. Look at your website. How many hits did that listing get on your website? And so just, don't stress about it. Just put over 5,000 views, over 10,000 views, over whatever is appropriate. I'm not going to lie, but I'm not going to sit there and freak out about having a perfect number. So I will say, this one got, because I did some good ads. So I'm going to say I got over 10,500 views for this home. In addition, I've got 24 buyers. So maybe you look at your IDX. You could, and there's a number of ways of doing this line. Look at your IDX. How many buyers are in there? How many buyers do you have currently looking that are pre-approved? How many buyers are looking either in the neighborhood or the area? So this could refer to Whitney Oaks, the neighborhood, or could refer to Folsom. How many buyers do I have in Folsom? All right. So 24, you'll change. And, just, again, make sure everything is appropriate and honest. The idea here is not to lie. All right. The idea here is to convey the truth, which is, even if you have 3 buyers, that's more than you got homes available to sell them. All right. Now here, we're going to get to describing the home. If, let's say the home is in the home is in an area where there's smaller homes, like 2 to 3 bedrooms, and the average square foot is like 1,200 to 2,000 square feet, then change 3 to 4 to 2 to 3, and 25 to 12, 4,000 to 2,000. If it's a larger area, or an area with larger homes, then maybe you do 3 to 5 bedrooms, 4 to 5 bedrooms, 3 to 5 bedrooms, between whatever that square foot range is. Everything making sense so far? So super easy. We're just changing the address, the views, the number of buyers, and the home description. It's like 4 things. Super easy. If so, what is your magic number to sell? And obviously change it to your email, unless you want people to contact me, and I'll take the deals, but I think you probably want them. And then your phone number. You already know your magic number, yada, yada, yada. Everything is good. And if you want to add the last line, you can, or you can delete it, but I kind of like it. This URL is going to, if you go to, I'll show you where this is. And I use this in the selling agent version as well. If you open up landing pages, it's the first one right here, free home values. And if you click the view icon, you'll notice you'll probably have something that might be your username, first name, last initial, whatever. Mine says california.freehomevalues.net. It's completely customizable. And you'll just want to delete this. and then paste in yours. And then what I do, just to make it look clickable, if you highlight it and click insert link, I can paste that link in there. And now it'll be clickable. All right, everybody good on this so far? And then once you've got this, copy it, because we're going to use it all throughout everything we do. Now, we've got default language for everything. You don't need to do any of this. You could just go straight to market listing. And let's go back to the main dashboard and let's jump back in as if we were coming in cold. Right? So give me a yes or a no if you get it. Is everybody kind of clear so far on A, the idea of using golden letter language around the marketing of our listing first, and then B, starting off by adding it to the single property website? Does that make sense so far? Should be pretty straightforward. And I think, and hopefully you'll get the strategy of why we're doing that. So again, give me a yes, Sophia, yes. All right, John, are you good so far? And everybody else that's watching us, we got more people. We got more than 2 people watching. All right, everybody wake up. Wake up. Are we good? All right. I think we have people sleeping on us. Oh, Russ, good to see you, dude. All right, Russ, you get it. Perfect. And we are recording this. You can watch this later. And if you're watching on the recording, please, please, please make sure you're following along. Pause the video, stop the video, rewind when needed. We're going to come back to just sold listing agent, and I'm going to click on market listing. If you click the learn more button, that's the same link I put in earlier, listings2leads.com/just sold. But we're going to get at it. We're going to do the Facebook and Instagram ad. There are so many different things that you can do here. I can retarget. I can do a custom audience. I can change interests. I mean, there's so many things I can do, but I'm going to keep it simple. Location's going to autofill. We're not going to go to the ads manager. We brought the ads manager here, and it's going to go to Facebook and Instagram both. So location's going to autofill. Leave it. Leave radius. Lifetime budget. I can go from lifetime to daily, but I like lifetime better because it will even out the budget depending on the number of people on the platform. And I am going to change it to 100. The minimum, I would say the minimum should be 100. The minimum is 50. But if you figure you're going to do like $10 average leads, 5 leads is kind of barely even enough to deal with. So I got people that do $200, $300. In the beginning, don't start off, and we do have AI text follow-up for the win. Oh my God, it's so good, which I'll show you in a minute, but $100. I'm gonna let it run for a week. If I wanna go for 2 weeks, I can. I would just increase my budget. I can change the template, do a video, change the, you'll see here, we got different templates down here. We got like 24-ish templates. For ads, I like the one where it's the main image on top and then 3 images below. I don't like carousel because people click, and then they're going to see all these full-size images, and more than likely they're going to see something they don't like and they're just going to bail. And I don't like just one single image, just because, again, it's a little bit too. The reason I like this one, it's got the main image on top, and it's got 3 smaller images on the bottom where they can see there's more there, but it's hard to really get a good feel for what those bottom images are, but it's like a tease. And so this template right here is so good. I think that's why, and partly why, our cost per lead is so good. And then I can edit the images in here. I can edit the text, the color, by clicking edit right here. And you'll see I can edit the text. I put this as my subheadline. My 100 plus point home marketing plan got this home sold. Or if I was a selling agent, I might change that to, or even right here, I could say, I have 24 more buyers for homes in Folsom, right? That kind of actually, either one of those would have been awesome. And I can change the color. Red is so good though for Facebook because it's a contrasting color. So especially if you're like with a brand where it's blue, right? I mean, I love Coldwell Banker, I love Sotheby's, I love, whatever. But blue can be a little kind of get lost in Facebook because Facebook is blue. So now you're competing with all the Facebook navigation and the Facebook colors, and now you got your blue in the ad. And so red can be a nice contrast. So just for whatever that's worth right there. All right, here's where the money is. I'm going to uncheck retarget. That's not the money. I'm going to uncheck it. You can leave it. You can do custom audience. I can do a custom audience right here, but I'm not going to do that. That's for another time. I want those 3 questions because think about this. You've got an ad that people are going to see and they're going to click. Then you're going to have a lead. All right. So think of this. You got people scrolling on Facebook, clicking an ad. Then you got a lead that you need to follow up with. What is the best way to shorten that time frame and increase the conversion between this person over here who doesn't know you and you sitting over here trying to get a hold of them? The best way to get this together is to offer value. All right, is to offer value from the get-go. I don't need to emphasize it that succinctly, but I hope you follow what I'm saying here. And how to do that. Click advanced options, create new form, and then right here, form questions. And now we've got 25 different questions, and I'm going to share with you the 3 I think would be the best for this ad. I'm going to uncheck what is your time frame to sell. And I'm going to scroll down to, now notice, would you sell in the next 1 to 3 months if you got the right price? I'm going to leave that one because that flows very nicely with this whole strategy. The other one that you could do, get your home's value plus instant cash offer options. That could be a good one. A lot of people are curious about cash offer. And then I'm going to scroll down to see how my 100 plus point home marketing plan works for your home. And if I scroll back up here, check this out. Now I've got these 3 questions that people are going to have to reply to. One more thing I'm going to do, and one thing I'll show you. If you want to see what are the options available when people click in the ad, mouse over the question bubble, and it says options, let me know, or no thank you for the cash offer. Would you sell in the next 1 to 3 months? When they click, the options are going to be maybe or no. And then for the third one, the options are going to be yes, and customized for my home, not right now. Okay. Now there's one more thing. Just like in math, the order of operation can mean everything. And the same thing is true here. And to that point, I want to move, and this is a little bit of art, a little bit of science, a little bit of intuition. I just feel that leading off with, and notice I just clicked and dragged, and I put that question at the top. Would you sell in the next 1 to 3 months if you got the right price? You could make an argument maybe for both. So I'm not going to harp on that for too much, but now notice it changed the order. And that's it. I'm done. I'm going to click create new. I'm going to create the form. I'm going to close advanced options and create ad. And then in the next 10 to 15 minutes, 1 to 2 hours, depending on what's going on with Facebook, this will get submitted immediately. Facebook will go through their approval process. It will be made live. And I mean, standard is like 10 to 15 minutes. It can be a little bit quicker, sometimes a little bit longer. We have no control over it. But now I've got an ad that is leveraging the golden letter language. I've got questions in the ad itself that are going to help me connect with the lead, because let's review this one more time. Let's take a look at the ad I did a little earlier, which was essentially the same thing. And let's just kind of role play a little bit with the Q&A on this. So somebody sees my ad, right? 100-point home marketing plan. I got 24 more buyers. What's your magic number? Click learn more. Boom. They click learn more. And the first question is, would you sell in the next 1 to 3 months if you got the right price? I'm going to say yes or maybe. Now, what are you going to do when you get a lead where they say maybe if it was the right price to that, right? In your follow-up, you're going to say, hey, thank you for responding to my ad relating to 1015 Raleigh Street that just sold near you or in Folsom. And I saw that you might consider selling your home if you got the right price. What is your price? They may say $5 million. They may say $10 million. They may say $500,000. What you're going to do is say, phenomenal. When do you have 5 minutes for me to come over and take a quick look at your property? I just need 5 minutes or less so I can let my buyers know and see if we can't put something together for you. That's it. You're not going to argue. You're just going to go over there first and get a feel for the property, get a feel for the seller. I would probably take my 100+ point home marketing plan with me just to have it. Maybe not the specific one for their home, but the one I create for the neighborhood or for my area. We have other training on that. See how AI can help you sell faster for top dollar. Yes, show me how. If they say yes to that, part of my follow-up is going to be, and I saw that you like the information how I use AI to help sell homes faster. We have a lot of training on that as well, where I talk about how to use AI to create images of the home for AI visualization for buyers. For example, there's a home, nice backyard, no pool. There's a home, they got a patio in the back, but they got no barbecue. There's a home with a nice front, but it's got no landscaping. And we can use AI to show the exact home. It's going to look like the exact home, but now with nice landscaping. We're going to show the home with a nice barbecue area. We can show the home with a pool. And we do this because a lot of times buyers are going to come through. They're going to look at your home. And because it doesn't have a pool, doesn't have a barbecue, doesn't have a nice front, they're just going to pass on it because they can't visualize what would it look like if it looked a little bit different. Otherwise, everything else is phenomenal for their needs. Does this make sense? So we can use Chat GPT, we can use Gemini, we can throw the picture of the backyard in there, and then obviously we're going to use the original images, but then we can have an image behind it or next in line that says AI enhanced or AI AI added pool, however you want to phrase it. Your MLS probably has language around that. And so we can show the home with no pool, the original photo as is, but then we can show an image of that same home, but now it's got a pool. And I've got some links in that in the mastermind group. If you want to get a copy of that, go ahead and post in there. And then obviously see how my 100+ point home marketing plan works for your home. And if they say yes to this, that's like a 20% on the way of getting that listing, because you can add that to your listings to leads account by clicking add listing manual, select status, listing presentation, add a photo of their home with their name on the cover, the address on the cover. If you can kind of see that, it's a little blurry. There you go. It got into focus for half a second there. And their home is on every page in this 24 to 27 page marketing plan. There are QR codes they can scan. There are text codes they can scan to bring up their property website. And now you've got their property website on their phone. I mean, it's phenomenal. All right. So that's the ad. Any questions on that? Jim says ninja level training. Yeah, thank you. That's awesome. All right. And John Sheffer, you're good to go on your question from earlier, I hope. All right. Next up for social media post. This is a standard post. Now, before I go to social media, and hey, if it posted with the default stuff, phenomenal. That no problem. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to go edit image. And I'm going to just change the template. I like this for the For the paid ad, I like the vertical. For the free post, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Google, and X. All right. I want to do the sideways. I'm going to hit save. And the cool thing is on Instagram, it'll still say vertical, or actually it'll look like this. I can change the vertical on that one for Instagram, but regardless, I'm not going to worry about that right now. I'm going to go hit save, and I'm just going to come back in here. I'm just going to copy that language from my property website. So you see, I'm using my property website as kind of like my repository for this language. So I can just copy and paste it everywhere. Again, there's absolutely nothing wrong with the default language for any of this stuff. So don't feel like, oh my God, I have to do this. You don't. But, I like to mix it up a little bit. So I just paste it in there. So now the preview, 1015 Riley Street just sold, my 100 plus point home marketing plan, yada, yada, yada. And I'm going to work my way down. If you have a 3 to 4 bedroom, what's your magic number to sell? Send an email to Scott so the only thing that will change on all of this will just be the very ending. Because, if it's an ad versus an email versus a phone call to our database, we're going to call our database. We're going to circle prospect with the same language. We're going to use this language everywhere. All right. Veronica, great question. Hold tight. I will let you know. So I'm just going to say, please comment or DM me or text 415-555-1212. Right. That should make perfect sense for all of us because it's a social media post. We want them to comment. I really don't want them to comment. I'd rather them DM me, but some may not know how to DM or what that means. So, kind of do whatever you want. But if they comment below, I would delete it because I don't want some other agent seeing some homeowner like, oh yeah, I would like to, sell my home, maybe, because you're going to get everyone. So, but you get my point. And then I'm going to do post now. So I'm going to just do it with please DM me or text and post now. And you'll have the ability to post to all the different websites that you're connected to. And that's good. We got the request for review. And I'm not going to cover this too much, but this is so good. Even if you got Google Business, you've got Testimonial Tree, you use Zillow, you can swap the link out, but we've got the ability for you to collect reviews right inside of Listings to Leads. We can also import reviews automatically from Google, Zillow, Testimonial Tree. If you got reviews in other platforms, you can add them manually. Just come to client reviews and give us support if you need help or get to the mastermind group on that one. That's a really, really great idea. And Brenda, 100%. Here's the deal. I don't get into Facebook Marketplace too much on a training level because it's easy to get banned if you abuse Facebook Marketplace. And I just don't feel as a vendor, I want to risk your Facebook page to get blackballed, all right, or get banned. Does that make sense? So yeah, 100% Facebook Marketplace. And thank you for bringing it up. You can do a lot. You can do the same post in Facebook Marketplace as well. Definitely. 100%. Now for Facebook Marketplace, I might use the landing page URL. Check this out. Just sold at the just sold post, share tool, listing landing page, view, and yeah, you could use a single property website or you could use the landing page, either way. And even if you just do text only, that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world either. All right. Now, these next two, we're not gonna flip the language on these two. These are for the seller. You got them for the selling agent at just sold, and you have it for the listing agent as just sold. These are phenomenal to get inside of the sphere of influence of the homeowner or the buyer. And the language will change for the buyer version versus the seller version. So for the seller version, our home just sold. We want to recommend, right? We want to recommend Brenda Ravel Wilson at XYZ Realty for doing an excellent job. Brenda can help you buy or sell, and it's going to link to your property website. And right, they got all the great information. And then you're letting people know that the property just sold. And I got a area video, I got a community video there for Folsom, Google Street View. And so we've also got the e-flyer, and the e-flyer also is going to link right to the property website. So check this out. I'm going to give you, this is ninja. What you're going to do is you're going to click the green button. It's either going to say send a seller or add seller info. You're going to add their emails and salutation, right? Dear Brenda and John, and click send. That's going to send the email to the seller. You're going to be CC'd, so you'll know exactly when they get it. And you're going to do the same thing for the e-flyer for seller's SOI. And again, here's that email for the seller. Here's the full email. It's got your signature down at the bottom. And you're going to click send to seller. Make sure their email autofill. It should autofill from the step above, but regardless, email and salutation again. Click send. And then you're going to be CC'd on that one too. And here's what you're going to do. You're going to call the seller or the buyer, and you're going to say, hey, phenomenal working with you. Glad we got your property sold, or glad to help you get the property. Would just love, I sent you a couple of emails, and I would love for you to post that to your Facebook page if you don't mind, because I would love to let people know that homes are selling in the area, and it will be a great benefit for all the neighbors and all the people around there. And I've also sent you an email as well that you could share with people that you know. And if you did a good job for the seller, if you did a good job for the buyer, they're going to do it. And this is one of the things Dustin Fox, who wrote that book, 6 Weeks to Agent Success, he was a client for like 8 years. And one day he came to me and he goes, Scott, he posted this in the mastermind group. And he goes, I had a seller ask me for something to put on their Facebook page, and I never used those tools before because I just didn't like them. But he goes, my sellers now love them, and I get leads. He got a listing from doing this. He's gotten buyers from this, and you will too. Over time, 100%, but in the short term, you probably will. I had a client a while back emailed support on a weekend because they were getting all these leads coming in and they did no ads. And we found out that the leads were coming from these two tools when the seller sent them out to hundreds of people and knew hundreds and hundreds of people on their Facebook page. And so people were just coming through as leads. But here's the deal. You're going to call the seller and you're going to say, hey, Brenda, this is Scott. I'm sorry, I kind of already role played so I'm going to role play the call to the seller. All right. Because I don't think I did this yet. So you're going to call the seller and you're going to say, hey, Brenda, this is Scott. Did I role play this already or no? I feel like I did. Or did I not? I don't want to do it again if I didn't, because we have a lot to go over. Let me just do it real quickly. Hey, Brenda, this is Scott. Thanks for letting me, we got your home sold. Wonderful. I totally did. All right. I'm not going to do it again. Here's the other pro tip. When the seller puts it on their Facebook page, I want you to go like it and leave a quick comment. The comment might be something like, looks phenomenal. It was great to work with you. It was wonderful to work with you, whatever it is. Something just, easy. That way, every time somebody else comes in and leaves a comment, you're going to get notified. And you're going to do that because some of those comments are going to be appropriate for you to respond to. They may say, what did it sell for? How long did it take to sell? How is the market? The photographs look amazing. Awesome video. Love the 3D tour, because you can put videos and 3D tours in the property website. And those are going to be very appropriate for you to respond to. And those are great ways to start building engagement with their sphere of influence via Facebook. Are we all clear on that? We all see how powerful that is? All right. And Veronica, I'll be showing the 100-point home marketing plan here in a little bit. But I got kind of two more things for just sold I want to make sure that we hit on. The farm and the database. So we got the nearby homeowner letter. We got postcards and door hangers. For the nearby homeowner letter, download PDF. Let's just take a look at it without any edits. Now, this is something, was talking to a client, like a 10-year client, just 2 weeks ago. We were on one of our expired seller lead calls, and I hadn't seen him in a while. And so I was like, hey, Corey, are you still using the nearby homeowner letters? Because he had written last year that in 2024, or earlier this year, that in 2024, he generated 13 listings in one farm area from this letter. And so about 2 weeks ago, kind of, early December into November, I was like, dude, are you still using that letter? Because it's been like 10 or 11 months. And he's like, yeah. And I said, well, how do you use it? And he goes, I send it out he does 2 to 400 at just listed, and then 2 to 400 at just sold. Just kind of depends on the area. You can use Mailbox Power. Dustin Fox uses Zaire Mail, which I'll show you. And he's like, yeah, he goes, I still get listings regularly. We had a client in the mastermind group recently who came in there and said she uses it, just listed, just sold, and gets listings regularly from this letter. And let me show you zairmail.com. So this is one that Dustin Fox uses. And there's Mailbox Power. And if you're going to use a mailing service, the key is that you got to use their handwritten font and a first class stamp. And that's why I mentioned these two, because they both offer a handwritten font for the envelope and a first class stamp. And you want to make sure that is what you're doing. You can also handwrite it. You could print it at home, right? You got the letter, and then we've had people do this, and they fold it. They just fold it, tri-fold it as if it was an envelope. Put a couple little, the stickers, like the clear stickers on like this, and they just address it and put a stamp on it. For the return address of what I would do is I would just do your first name, last name, and the address, 123 Main Street, Folsom, California, 95630. That way it's going to look a little bit more like a regular letter, right? You got the handwritten font, and then you got the stamp. Don't put eXp Realty, Coldwell Banker, LPT on the envelope, right? That'll be on the inside, is where you'll have all of that language right there. You don't have to touch the letter at all. The letter works beautifully as is. But if you wanted to, and I want to make sure that we end this not too late, but you can click on the edit, and I could go, right, just sold, and I can add one more, you can kind of add one more line. We had 9,000 plus views. I have 24 active buyers. Would you consider selling your home to one of my buyers? If so, what is your magic number? Text me. Number is below. Now, I shouldn't even be doing this because, again, most of our clients, they have the most success with this. They don't change anything. They just leave it as is. And the more you kind of mess around with this, the less effective it is. All right. So I'm just going to leave it at that. And, I'm sorry. And you can also door knock. Door knocking is amazing. For those of you that like to do door knocking, this letter is phenomenal, because when you go door knocking, right, I knock on your door, And let's say you answer the door, right? So, I knock on the door, I take a couple of steps back, I got some copies of the letter. Maybe I've got my 100 plus point home marketing plan, which I'm going to show you where it is in a few minutes. And you come to the door and I just say, hi, 1015 Riley Street around the corner just sold. And I wanted to give you some information about that. My name is Scott Pierce. I was the listing agent. I was the selling agent for the property. And if you'd like to get more information, you can either send a text message, go to that website, or scan the QR code. And then they're going to say something. At that point, they're going to be like, oh, what home? Or, oh, that home? Or how long did it take to sell? Or what did it sell for? Like, they're going to say something. And then you can roll into the language around the golden letter, right? So you get into a conversation with them and you just say, yeah, we've got a 100 plus point home marketing plan like this one right here that I use to sell homes. And, through that, we got over like 9,500 people that looked at it online. And we had over, 14 showings. So it was really great. And I've currently got 24 buyers that are looking for a home in the area. And so, I wanted to just let all the neighbors know that it's sold, but B, if anybody is thinking about selling to one of my buyers, I'd love to find out what your magic number is, that you might consider selling your home. And then they're going to go like, then you're going to have more conversation. All right. So do you see how that works? So you can door knock and incorporate the 100 point home marketing plan, B, the language around the golden letter. All right. Should the return address be the business address? Don't use home. Do your business. Yeah, 9 times out of 10, don't do your home, because I've had people tell me. In fact, Corey was sharing in that same conversation that he had somebody call him up, and this is standard. This is just the way it is. Every once in a blue moon, you're going to get a nut job. And don't take offense, people, on this one. If you are a woman, do not put some like marketing photo. The headshot right here is totally fine. Sometimes people like to put like this big, glamour shot kind of a thing in here and replace this. That just attracts weirdos. So just keep it your headshot. That's all you need to do. Do not use your home address, please. Corey's a guy. He's like 6'3", and he had someone like threaten to come beat him up because why are you mailing me and blah 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 blah. It's like, holy cow. It's like, are you nuts? There's just there's weird people out there. Yeah. All right, cool. Circle prospecting, again, we got the script. Circle prospecting is amazing. I don't have time to go through that too much, but I will just say the people that circle prospect, and if you've got a program like RedX, you got a program like Land Voice, Active Prospect, My Plus Leads, and I'm going to give you a link to our affiliate link at My Plus Leads. I should have had that ahead of time. I apologize. Give me 1 second. I'm going to give it to you. But a program like this, and I'll bring it up first, for $70 a month, well, you'd actually need the $199, because then you get neighborhood premium data. Excuse me. But so anyways, or you can ask your title company. The only thing is you want to make sure about the do not call, and we don't want to get into trouble. But I will put this link into the chat for everybody. So if you want to do circle prospecting, you don't have a source for numbers, My Plus Leads is a good one. But yeah, use the script, use some of the language around the golden letter that I just shared with you, and do circle prospecting 100 homes around that property. And do it from, here's the deal. Like, I worked at Sotheby's as an agent. When I started listing leads, I was an agent. I was an agent, but I was the director of marketing for 4 Sotheby's offices. always have the mind frame that you are a luxury agent in the sense of you are providing luxury service, and always try to strive to provide the best service. The big difference between luxury and everybody else is the level of service. And anybody at any price point can provide luxury service. Even if you're brand new, you're 150 to $250,000 range, you can still aspire to provide those people the best service possible. That is what makes luxury. Luxury is when you make other people's lives as easy and like good as possible. That's why when you walk into Tiffany's or you walk into Hugo Boss, the person, they come up, they greet you, they offer you a bottle of water. You walk into Target, you walk into TJ Maxx, they don't even look at you. They're wandering off doing something else. And Hugo Boss, they're probably made in a factory in China, not too far away from where the TJ Maxx stuff is made. All right. Of course, it's a little bit better. I was in retail for a long time. Is it worth what they're charging? Hell no. All right. But regardless, they're getting 10 times more money because they are making it a better experience. Right. And they dress a little bit nicer, but it's about the experience. And I mention that because circle prospecting, door knocking, if we come at it from a customer service, and then even then a luxury customer service, like when I'm door knocking, when I'm circle prospecting, I'm doing it to let you know about a listing that just sold. And I am here to provide value and a good experience when you're dealing with me. If you're going to get all weird and hang up and yell at me, that's on you. Okay. But from in my head, I'm here to add value, to add service, and to do it at the highest level possible. And I'm going to strive to do that in every interaction that I do. So hopefully that kind of helps a little bit with your mindset when you're doing this kind of work. Are we cool? The last thing I'm going to do in this 1202, I apologize, I'm going to wrap it up, but this is so important. You could send out 2 emails through Lofty, Follow Up Boss, what have you. The first email is going to be this one. And to the woman's point, who was it? I lost you. Veronica. Check this out. 1015 Raleigh Street in Folsom just sold. If you're thinking about selling your home, my 100 plus point home marketing plan helped get this home sold and can do the same for you, for your home. Please view it here. Boom. This will automatically link to your marketing plan and all the way through. Beautiful. Awesome. There's the QR code people can scan. You can click on that link and go to the property website. Right? You got the QR code that people can scan. Look at that. That's so awesome. All right. Now, so I would send this to, first of all, I would send this to all the leads in listings to leads. Just click, and you can send test email, which I always recommend. And then I can select which list I want to send it to by just drop down. And I can either schedule it, or I can either click send now. And the other thing I can do is, you can edit this. So if I want to edit this to the language for the golden letter, I can, but I want to do 2 emails, like maybe 4 to 5 days apart. And you'll see why in a minute. I can also just take this and just highlight everything and copy it. Go to your CRM. And so people do this in Lofty, they do it in Follow Up Boss, they do it, any email program, Bold Trail. And give me a second here. I'm gonna 1015. All right, so give me one. So you're gonna navigate in your CRM or email provider where you send out an email to your leads, to your database, and highlight and copy how I just showed you, and just paste it. It'll take you 3 seconds. Right? You got the slideshow, looks beautiful. Boom. Get your home value. The link is right there for the 100 plus point home marketing plan. Your listing lead signature at the bottom is right there. All right, everything looks phenomenal. And just send it through your database. You can do both, or you can, just do your database or do listing leads, but get that to your database. And then there's a database call script. There's 3 versions of this. One where you call somebody and they own a home in the farm area, and one where they own a home that's not in the farm area. Now, again, when you call, right, you can incorporate some of the language from the golden letter, right, that we've been kind of going over into the script. But again, have that. I'm just providing a service. I'm letting you know a home just sold. Any homeowner is going to be kind of curious, especially as a listing agent or the selling agent, because they might want to know, how long did it take to sell? How's the market? How many offers did you get? Were there any problems? Yada, 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 right? There's a million questions that they could have, but you're never going to find out what those questions are if you don't call them. So call from the point of view of you're adding value, you're adding as a service, and those people that don't appreciate it, whatever. All right. I'm looking to find those people that I can add value and serve. And then when I do find those people, I'm going to do it at such a level that they are going to be ecstatic to refer me to other people. I'm going to do it at a level that where I'm like, you know what? I'm the person that's working at Tiffany's, or I'm the person that's providing a luxury experience, even if I'm driving a 25-year-old Corolla and wearing a 10-year-old suit and selling, double wide trailers, 20 miles outside the downtown area. You can still be a luxury person in that environment. All right. Let me know if you think I sound crazy talking like that, if you get what I'm saying. And, sign writers, once it's sold, you can't really use the sign writers once it's sold. Listing flyers aren't really relevant for this, right? Traffic reports not really relevant for this once you're just sold. So there's a lot of other tools, but for just sold, these things aren't relevant. Let's end it. And if anybody's got any questions, let me know. But I'm going to end it by showing you where that 100 point home marketing plan is. There's a few answers to that. The easiest is when you're looking at all of your listings, right here, there's a tab, listing presentation, and there's a flipbook version, listing presentation flipbook. And if I click view, Brenda, yes, there is. I was going to cancel it, but then I had a few people like, are you going to do your call early this morning? So I was like, oh, I guess I will. But it's like Friday afternoon, but it's totally fine. If there's even 2 or 3 people there, I don't mind doing it. All right. And there's a PDF version right here. So I can download the PDF, download PDF. And then I can also create these, for example, like if I want to create it for a neighborhood, look at this, the 100 plus point home marketing plan to get homes sold in Placer County. And so I'll show you in a second here. All right. That's going to regenerate for some reason. Let's see. I got one. I don't know. Sometimes I like to regenerate. Let's try this one. This is for expired, but let's just take a look at it real quick. Okay. The only difference between expired and the listing presentation is this one says expired, the other one doesn't. But notice it says, I specialize in getting homes sold that other agents couldn't in Placer County. And then all the way through. So this is not for a specific property. It's just for my area. And it's almost the same as the other one that we were looking at. It's a little bit different and just a stylistic. And it's got what I like about this version, it's got the cover is of the home. And then when I create it for a specific listing presentation or for a specific expired homeowner, it will have their name and the property address on the cover. So when I click, for example, the flip book right here, yeah, home and full, hold on a second. Let me see why. Oh, interesting. Oh, we just made an update that I forgot about. So let me get rid of that. All right. But normally it would say prepared for Frank Costanza at, and then the street address would be right there. And then that's Frank Costanza's home on every single page. So you can see I can create these presentations, both the flip book and the printable PDF for specific properties where I've got a listing presentation, expired, canceled, or FSBO. And I can create them for like the area, whether it be a neighborhood, a city, or an entire sales area. Again, for the same 4 categories. Okay. Are we good? All right. Thank you, Brenda. Awesome. Veronica, are you good? You see where to get that now? So the one the listing presentation one, that's going to be the one that's just in your account when you sign up or you first just log in. It's just always there. These other ones are ones that I added, and you add them by going to add listing manual, status, either listing presentation, for sale by owner, expired, or canceled. And notice name, email, phone number, and then you'll upload a photo, and that way you'll be able to create just ones like this right there, and you'll win pretty much every listing presentation you go on. All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining me. Appreciate you all. Get into the mastermind group. Let me know if you have any questions, and we'll talk to you soon.